बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। कोई काबिल हो तो नई शान देते हैं, कोई काबिल हो तो नई शान देते हैं, ढूंढने वालों को दुनिया भी नहीं देते हैं। Assalamu alaikum. Hope you all are doing well. Today my group is going to bring you an up-to-date on the topic structure and function of DNA. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Iman Shafkat and I am going to start with a thought-provoking proverb. Knowledge is having the right answer and intelligence is having the right question. We can gain knowledge, but we cannot gain intelligence. It deals with genetics and the genetics deals with DNA. My respected group members are named as Muhammad Basit Farooq, Talha Tahir, Habibullah, Muhammad Hussain Haider, Ali Abid, Muhammad Umair Khan, Amina, Aisha and I. First, I would like to thank my prestigious teacher, Dr. Syed Atif Ali, for guiding us, inspiring us and making us what we are. Now, looking forward to the outlines today, we will be able to discuss about DNA, polymer, double helical structure, step ladder model. In this presentation, we will mainly focus on the structure of DNA and what are the main components on which it mainly depends. DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid and DNA is the molecule which is located inside the nucleus of the cell. Its main job is to store and code the genetic information of the body, as we all know. For most of the life cycle of the cell, the DNA is located inside the nucleus of the cell, like a coiled noodle. But during the time when the cell replicates, the DNA is arranged in the form of structures which are known as chromosomes. These chromosomes help to keep the DNA stable during the time of replication. Most of us are aware of this. Most of you are familiar with the double helical structure of DNA. The double helical model demonstrates that a DNA is basically a polymer. To understand the structure of DNA in a better way, you have to understand the definition of a polymer. It is very important. So, the polymer is basically a molecule consisting of many repeating units, which are known as monomers. If you take the example of a simple polymer called a starch, in this case, repeated monomeric units known as glucose are used. We all are known about the glucose. These glucose molecules are joined together by the glycosidic bonds in the form the polymer which is known as starch. In a similar way, DNA is also a polymer. And in this case, the monomeric units which form the polymer DNA are known as nucleotides. This is the basic structure of nucleotide. You can see that it consists of three important groups of phosphate, the sugar, and the nitrogenous base. In the nutshell, you can conclude that sugar is present in the nucleotide. It is called deoxyribose and which is a 5-carbon sugar which belongs to pentose. The phosphate group consists of 5 phosphorus ions to which 4 phosphorus atoms are attached, and we have important nitrogenous bases which are organic molecules and which contain nitrogen in the form of ringed structure. We have 4 nitrogenous bases that can be present inside the DNA molecule. These are adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine. Now, since we have 4 different types of nitrogenous bases, we have 4 different types of nucleotides that are present inside the structure of double helical DNA. Now, as you can see, these nucleotides are arranged in 2 groups. The first group is known as pyrimidines. These contain the nitrogenous base thymine and cytosine, which are both single ringed bases. And a second group contain nucleotides. These are known as purines, which have adenine and guanine as the nitrogenous base, which have double ringed structure. In the case of starch, as we had earlier discussed, the structure is very simple, which is only consisted of long linear chains as well as branch chains, which are joined together by the glycosidic bond. This is the chemical structure of these starch, and you can see the different types of glucose chain as we discuss either chained or branch. But in the case of DNA, the 4 types of nucleotides join together in a very complex way to form the double helical structure. Now, if you focus into the structure of double helical DNA, you can clearly see that it basically consists of 2 blue lines and these are twisted around each other. This also consists of 2 orange lines in the center and these blue lines hold them together. When the blue lines connect them together, we can understand the structure more easily if we untwist the double helical structure, and the structure is similar to the structure of a ladder. Further, the step ladder model will be discussed by my partner Aisha Iftikhar.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Aisha Iftakhar and my AG number is 2020 AG 2992. So I'm going to further proceed this presentation. Here the blue lines are sugar phosphate backbone of the DNA and the central lines represent the base pair of the DNA. We will get these terms in just a bit. The next thing you have to understand is how the nucleotides are joined together. The carbon present in the deoxyribose of the DNA are numbered from 1 to 5 in the clockwise direction, and you should remember the numbering of carbon atom because it will help you to understand the concept of directionality of DNA. Now what happens? The third carbon in every deoxyribose sugar form the bond with the phosphate group of another nucleotide that is present below it, and its bonding extend in both directions. Now if you focus into the structure, you will notice that every phosphate is connected with two sugar, one bond with the third carbon of the sugar above and one bond with the fifth carbon of the sugar below. Due to the bond formation between the sugar and the phosphate, we create this sort of sugar phosphate backbone on one side, and we have all the nitrogenous bases which project out of this sugar phosphate backbone on one side. So it shows us that the single strand of the DNA. So, if you step back to the step ladder model of the DNA as set by my partner Iman Shafkat, you will see how the different nucleotides in a single strand of the DNA are joined together to form a sugar phosphate backbone, which was represented by these vertical blue lines, and in the center you have these orange bars which connecting these two lines, which are essentially the base pair from one side. Now, in the opposite side, we have another strand of the DNA which is quite similar to the original strand but have a key important difference for you to understand. And to understand these key difference, you have to understand the directionality and the complementary base pairing. Directionality essentially means that it is the end-to-end chemical orientation of a single strand of nucleic acid. In this example, you are saying that the single strand nucleic acid. Now, the direction O is expressed in two ways: 5' end to 3' end and 3' end to 5' end. Now if you look closely at the structure, you can basically see that it has 5' end to which a phosphate group is attached, and it has a 3' end to which a hydroxyl group is attached. So if we come back to our DNA ladder model, we can see that the strand we made before the 5' to 3' direction. Now in a similar way, if you look at the opposite strand, you can basically note that there is one of important key point that is run in completely opposite direction. It has its 3' end in opposite direction and its 5' end in this direction. So it is set in 3 to 5' direction. We make this two strand of the DNA anti-parallel, and the next important thing is the complementary base pairing, which describe the manner in which the different nitrogenous bases of DNA strand align with each other. Now it basically means that the base adenine pair with the base thymine and the base guanine always form hydrogen bond with the cytosine. You can see the rule action DNA step model. You can see that the base adenine always pair with the base thymine and the base cytosine always pair with the base guanine. These bases are forming hydrogen bond in the center. In each center which has these two strands together, the complementary base pairing is very important aspect at it has the two strands at a distance as it maintains the stability of the DNA. So now if you look the double helical model of the DNA, you can understand these two helical lines means and what the central space which are connecting these two parallel strands. So this was all about the basic structure and the function of the DNA. I would like to end this presentation with a famous quotation of Lewis Thomas. He said, "The capacity to blend slightly is the real marvel of DNA. Without this special attribute, we should still be an aerobic bacteria and there will be no music." That was all I want to share with you people. Thank you.